Tomorrow for all our members, our board meeting is tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Uh, we want everybody participating. If you can't participate live, we will be having it on. We're live streaming as well to all our board members. And on the 20, I got to find my phone now. On the 20, the fourth Saturday, I think that's the 23rd, 20, maybe while I'm doing. Anyway, we're going to have a fish fry. We're inviting everybody out. That's the 22nd of August this month. We're having a fish fry over at Mood for Change. It won't cost anybody anything. It's a voter registration drive, along with making sure people get there the right information. I think that's part of the early voting too, right there. That is, yeah.
It is the 15th, yeah.
Yeah. Well, is it the 15th through the? No, it's the 22nd. So it'll be ending.
No, early voting. We will have passed even the primary elections on the 18th.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, but we'll still be registering people for the general election as well, trying to get people to turn out, make sure they have the right information. We will do that every day coming up this week for the primary, and have information for the general election as well. Hopefully, the right people will win in the primary. I know you're going to talk about that, Derek, as individuals that are working with other candidates and people of that ilk to make sure that we have the right people in place. The referendum on the superintendent, we're going to talk about that as well. But I'll get back to you, and you can, I guess Jamil can come in and talk about what he's doing.
Yep, absolutely. Jamil, you have it. We're up.
If you're trying to get through, you're on mute, Jamil, if you can hear us. I guess you say he traveled. Yeah, I know he traveled.
Yeah, I don't want to unmute him, but I'm going to. We'll come back to Jamil. We'll come back to Jamil. Mr. Vernon, do you have anything that you want to share? Any folks that are going to be on the radio this week? Anything that we need to know about? No, Wednesday is the 4th. No, Tuesday is the 4th. You're right. Yeah. I'm sorry, running for what? Mr. Vernon, not to be a dead horse, but we don't have an Eric Morris on any slate that's running for governor of the state of Florida. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I went back earlier. Um, mm. Oh, okay. I'm gonna let you have that one. I'm looking at the list. I don't see no Eric, but all right, we'll go with it. Uh, and who else you said? Nope. What is he running for? Don't tell me governor again. Oh, Jim Holcomb. Yeah, I do know. I do know that. Yeah, he's a Republican. Yeah, I just don't know the Eric guy. Yeah. Okay. That's right. There we go. Mm, mm. So we will tune in, I guess, and hear from the random person that's running for governor that nobody's ever heard of, that ain't on the list. And then we will listen to, well, somebody will listen to Jim Holcomb. I don't know that I will, but sure. Oh, Neela, yes. Well, she, she is indeed a Republican. Mhm. Uh, yeah. All right. Mhm. Um, we'll come back to. Oh, well, Jamil is there. He's there live. You already. Oh, you drive fast. You back in Jacksonville already?
No, so actually I'm in Tallahassee.
Oh, I was
Had I had to make a quick stop in Tallahassee, and I was like,
Oh,
well,
okay.
since I'm here and it's time for the show, I might
Okay.
as well just
All right.
stay until we done with the show. So I'm at an unknown location in
Oh,
Tallahassee,
there you go.
Florida.
I was just about to say. Now, I consider myself a fast driver, but if you got there that fast, so I
Nah,
was like, wait a minute.
nah,
I know you said you just left. Hold on. Like,
nah, good brother.
wait a minute. Yeah, that's how rumors get started, Mr. Vernon. You know what I'm saying? You on TV talking to your girlfriend, all of a sudden everybody be like, Mr. Vernon, go to visit with him.
I definitely was going to be like shout out to my wife. Love my wife.
now, now, now we're married.
I know, right? I was like, I know she can hear you. Come on now.
I'll tell you what
So, Jamil, tell us what Black Voters Matter has coming up that we would need to know, or
Um,
that you have coming up, whatever.
so first and foremost, salutations and greetings to all. It is I, Jamil Davis, your North Florida lead regional organizer for Black Voters Matter. And yes, I can say that now because I'm back in office. I've been back in office this past Monday. But we had a great time this weekend, and we had a great time this weekend in Pensacola, Florida, with the Northwest Florida Panhandle Coalition of Civic Engagement. I hope I said that right, and if I didn't, God bless y'all to my heart. As the old people in the church like to say, y'all charge to my heart. You know my heart. But we had a great time, and along with Equal Ground Education Fund at the legislative debrief tour stop that we did in the Panhandle, and then part two was even better. I get thrown on these impromptu roundtable panels. And but that's always great and it's always fun. And then on the podcast side, I'm also one of the hosts of BLKFLA, the podcast. And so right after the legislative debrief stop, we were able to make a stop at the home of the awesome and amazing Jermaine J. Williams to record an episode for BLKFLA, the podcast, which will be coming out soon. Fingers crossed. I'm very excited about that. Very excited to be able to have the candidates for the mayoral seat of Pensacola, Florida on BLKFLA, the podcast. And so, listen, Black Voters Matter. We have a baby bus, a 13, 14 passenger streamer van that we like to call the baby bus. We will be having a baby bus tour across North Florida beginning on August the 12th and then on August the 16th. Locations will be announced soon. And I mean locations as it pertains to where we will be in these particular cities, because we already know the cities that we're coming to. August the 12th, we will be starting the show in the great and wonderful city of Pensacola. Yeah. So we start everything on August the 12th in Pensacola. August the 13th, we will be in Panama City. August the 14th, will be in the capital city, Tallahassee. August the 15th, we're going to be in Gainesville, Florida. And then everything will conclude on August the 16th in Jacksonville, Florida, because out of all the counties that I really do extensive work in for North Florida as the North Florida League regional organizer, Duval County is the only county that actually has that last Sunday in that week of early voting. They actually have that last Sunday. So we will be doing a Souls to the Polls push effort in Duval County, Jacksonville on August the 16th, leading into August the 18th, primary. So in some of our big major counties in the state, early voting starts tomorrow. There are a few counties in this state where early voting does indeed start tomorrow, kids. But for most of us here in the wonderful state of Florida, early voting starts Saturday. I have all but, if I'm focusing on my counties that I operate in and do partnerships in North Florida, I have one county where early voting does not start on August the 8th, and that is Duval County, where early voting starts on Friday, August the 7th, and ends that Sunday, August the 16th. What did we learn, kids? That if the counties want to give you more early voting days, they'll do it if they want to. They'll do it if they want to. Don't believe that nonsense that they try to throw you about it's not in their budget, because if they want to do it, they'll do it. Yeah. So there's that. That's my update, and back to you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jill, welcome. What do you have?
Everyone. It's so great to be here. Great to see these wonderful faces that I just saw. I don't know, for the last, it seems like days. We're always together, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Um, are you pulling up what I sent you or no? You don't have to. It's completely up to you.
I got it.
I have two things. Let's see which one he pulls up first.
See it?
There you go. Perfect. So many of you remember Senior Airman Roger Fortson was murdered opening his door. And the family has been coming back and forth for over a year. And now the officer who murdered him would like to see if he could get it dismissed or he could get immunity. So they have a 3-day mini trial, but this is not the trial. This is just to decide whether he can dismiss it or get immunity. And so the family, many people in Okaloosa came together and across the counties, to be honest. And I think they have a place to stay that has been paid for them because they have to be here this time 3 days. Usually they come down, they go to court, they sit there for less than 30 minutes, and then they have to drive all the way back. But this is August 3rd through the 5th. They are asking anybody who is available on any of those days to show up to the Okaloosa County Courthouse at 9 o'clock. And so it will start on August 3rd and will conclude August 5th unless there is a decision prior to that. And then the actual, assuming that they still keep it going, the actual court date isn't until September. So we just are encouraging everybody. This is from the family. He took it down. It's going to be what it said. That's okay. Well, from the family, if you have from the family and friends, if you have an ounce of concern, a care in the world, and deep down inside, you know that he deserves justice, they're asking people to come out, fill the courthouse. So we just would hope that as many people as possible could come. If you can't come on Monday, come on the 3rd, come on the 4th, come on the 5th, whatever day you can come, they will appreciate it. And then the next thing that we have, Bob Hope Village in the community ballroom. It's located at 30 Holly Avenue in Shalimar, Florida. We'll have the Meet the Candidates and a question and answer session, 6:15 to 6:45. They'll have social and light refreshments, and then 7 to 8:30. They'll do candidate presentation and questions. And then Paul Lux will provide a brief update. Paul Lux is Okaloosa County Supervisor of Election. And they will do U.S. House District 1, Florida Senate District 2, Florida House District 3, Florida House District 4, District 1 for the MPAs, and then School Board District 3 and District 5. So you are invited on Thursday, August 6, 2026, to come out to Bob Hope Village. Again, that is located at 30 Holly Avenue. That is all I have for now till we get started with everything else.
Okay, thank you very much. And for Escambia County, we don't have too much this week except this upcoming Saturday. We will have a canvassing if all goes well. We will be canvassing in the area, and that is on Saturday, August the 8th. We meet at the office, which is at 2618 Dr. Martin Luther King Drive at 4 o'clock p.m. If you'd like to walk with us and do some door knocking and get some folks out to vote, then please join us then. That is Saturday, this upcoming Saturday at 4 p.m. And that is all that we have on the schedule. Early voting, as we have mentioned, does start this upcoming Saturday. So please make sure that you have an opportunity to start doing those. And there are any one of 10 early voting locations in Escambia County you can cast your vote on starting on Saturday. NAACP may have a Souls to the Poll event or a GOTV event, but if we have something, we will commit to coming to Mr. Vernon and sharing what that looks like as we move forward in this season. So stay tuned for that. Now, I guess we can talk about, we went through everybody, right? Yep. So we can talk about Equal Ground and what happened this past weekend. We were fortunate to have a visit from our partners at Equal Ground, who did their fourth annual legislative session debrief. I won't say four, I say fourth annual because it's the fourth time. This past Saturday marked the fourth time that they've done it in the Panhandle area. And so we want to share a little bit about that. Tell us, Jamil, you started, Jill, Dr. Oh, sorry, Lord. Mr. McIntosh, what are your thoughts? What were your thoughts?
Well, the debrief were really, really nice. Really, I want to thank. Go ahead, Vern. Oh, if you saying something. Okay. I want to first thank you and Jill for making sure everything jump off the way it should and did. Vern, we hear you,
Mr.
Vern.
Vernon.
Vern, we hear you. You're talking to everybody. You're talking to everybody, Vern.
I'm muting him. Go ahead.
But like I was saying, I want to thank you and Jill for making sure things happen the way it should, and it did. Everything really, really was nice. Everything was well put together. The food, everything was on target. I think I probably overate yesterday, but I needed to because I need to gain a couple pounds. but it was really nice, and the presenters who came to do the debrief was really good at what they did, and was to make sure that we understood the legislation and everything. So it was really, really good. Equal Ground, they've always done a great job in making sure that people understand what's going on. So that's my take on it. It was really nice. Again, I want to thank you and Jill for making sure everything came out the way it did.
Jill, your thoughts?
Well, thank you, Jerry, for that. And thank you for the help that you gave as well. It took all of us. Thank you to Hertz Chapel and to the fabulous team that did the cooking of the food and just made it wonderful. I'm sure Derek will talk about those that were helping with the sound system and just making sure everything came together. It was great to see everybody. It was an opportunity for us to this year, unfortunately, to be without Genesis and Jasmine. They both had a loss in their family and unfortunately couldn't make it. But Bishop Marcus did a good job, and so did Evan. And I think that the partners all came together. We thank them for their support because we couldn't do this if all of the partners didn't say, hey, this is important enough for us to help gather some funding so that we could make sure that it was as nice as it was. And so thank you to all of them. Derek has it up on the screen. Hopefully some of them are listening. What do I want to say? I thought that you didn't have to do that right there. That's me. So I will tell you, I'm grateful, very thankful. There's Jamil, like we're all there. I'm very grateful and thankful that God has given me the ability to just speak off the cuff because they were like, okay, Jill, I need you to do this. I was like, okay, I thought we said I was doing this, but I'm going to do it. And it just really flowed well. I really appreciate that everybody was able to just kind of move as things moved and jump in when things jumped in. It was good to hear some of the partners say, you know what, we're just going to come together and do the work. A lot of times, look at Mr. McIntosh. Do you see how clean he is? I'm just saying. I think, who was it? Somebody asked him if they could have his suit. And there is Mr. Derek Scott. And so it just really was a wonderful opportunity to learn, to get educated, and stop right there. We have to say, Miss Linda Scott. We are so grateful and thankful for her, and she has her own identity. We're not just going to let her be known as Derek's mom. So Miss Linda Scott, because everybody was like, oh, that's Derek's mom. No, that's Miss Linda Scott. And she did a fabulous job. They also gave her something right before we started that she had to like kind of change her whole script, and she did amazing. And it was just a good mix of people. And I'm going to hand it over to you, Derek. And if you have some other things we need to talk about, we can.
No, I guess I will echo the same things. Huge shout out to Hearst Chapel for allowing us to be in their space all day Saturday. Because I know they were like, when are these people going to go home? But like they were very pleasant, accommodating, as they always are. Huge shout out to Miss Bernice and her team for doing all the catering. We had a phenomenal breakfast and a better lunch too. And so it was just great. And I'm saving my peach cobbler. I have not eaten it yet. It is still in the refrigerator, but it will be consumed shortly. It was just a great day. We started off, I'll be honest, I was a little concerned in the beginning because I was like, by 9:00, we usually have 50 to 60 people there, and there were only just a few folks. But folks started trickling in. I guess folks said, "Oh, we don't want to get up that early for breakfast," but we absolutely wanted and talked and got out in full. I think we were close to about 100. That's the beginning of the group. But by the time we finished, all the rows had at least 5 or 6 people in every row. So we were. It was a great opportunity. I was happy that folks came out. Shout out to all of the partners that were on the journey with us. There was all of the partners that were present who took photos with us. We had a partners group, partners photo at the end. It was just a great opportunity to be there and hear from Equal Ground. Thank you for Bishop Marcus and the folks for all they were able to do. Special shout out to our partners, the National Coalition for 100 Black Women of Pensacola, the Sisters of Hope, the Pensacola Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Real Women Foundation, Movement for Change, Earth Action, the Legal Defense Fund, NAACP for Okaloosa County Branch, of course, Black Voters Matter, the Families First for Strong Public Schools, the Legal Women Voters for the Pensacola Bay Area, NAACP Branch 5124, shout out home team, and of course the Northwest Florida Panhandle Coalition for Civic Engagement, which is, and we certainly couldn't do any of this without Equal Ground. So a huge shout out to Equal Ground and their team. We had a great day. So I'm glad that we were able to show up and show out and have a great opportunity there. I look forward to next year's event, which of course will be in Santa Rosa County. And so we will get there, soon, very, very soon. But let's just, as we know that we're approaching election cycle, let's just be mindful. We had a great afternoon with the candidates and sessions, hearing from them. getting a chance to hear their platform. We had a spirited conversation between some of the school board candidates that were in the room. So it was great. This is an opportunity to get out and do so and hear from them. So I was happy that we were able to do that. And I look forward to next year, as I said. And as we are moving in, I guess I should have put this up as I close. I guess I closed out a little too soon. Let's see if I can get it back. I do want to take another opportunity just to make sure that everybody is aware that the Northwest Florida Panhandle Coalition for Civic Engagement, if you're in Escambia, Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, as well as Walton counties, we did try to make recommendations as people are calling and want to know if you're a Democrat and you are like, I don't know who's on the list or who I should be voting for. We do want to just, if you missed it yesterday, just put it back on the screen so that everybody has the opportunity to see it again. And we'll start in Escambia County, of course. After extensive process, we have come to the conclusion that Angie Nixon for U.S. Senate, David Jolly for Governor, Earl Ford for CFO, and Don Pritchard for Commissioner of Agriculture are your statewide candidates that we recommend. And that would be the same in Escambia, Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. So again, or if you're in Bay, wherever, those are the recommendations that we have for your Northwest Florida. Again, Angie Nixon for U.S. Senate. So at the top of the ticket, followed by David Jolly and Gwen Graham, Earl Ford for CFO, and Don Pritchard for Commissioner of Agriculture. In Escambia County, we made some school board and mayoral recommendations. So we start with Aaron Toller for School Board District 1, Gerald Washington for School Board District 2, Dr. Isaac Williams for School Board District 3, and if you live in the city of Pensacola, it is Jermaine Williams for the mayor. And lastly, there's a referendum on the ballot about the school board superintendent. We are encouraging everybody to please vote no on the referendum. So keep politics out of education and vote no on the referendum. I will do Santa Rosa since they're not here. Again, the same 4 statewide candidates apply, and they have Kyle Connolly for School Board District 3 in Santa Rosa, and Marie Lachlan for Santa Rosa School Board District 5. Jay, do you want to do Okaloosa?
I surely can. I'm going to say this, though. Derek said that wherever you are in any of our areas for the Northwest Florida Panhandle, I must say for our statewide candidates, wherever you are across the state of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have friends, you have family, you have neighbors, you have people that you only call associates, please let them know that this is the ticket that we know, not that we think, but that we know is best for Floridians. And so absolutely Angie Nixon for U.S. Senate, Earl Ford Jr. for CFO, David Jolly for governor, and Donald Pritchard for Commissioner of Agriculture. And then we have 2 we have 2 school board people, Linda Vanchek, who is returning, and then Brett Henley. And so Okaloosa, just so you know, has 5 locations. We don't have 10 like wonderful Escambia, but we do have 5 locations located, Crestview, Fort Walton, Destin, to try to make sure, and Niceville, to try to make sure that they hit all of at least the big cities. They do try. Do I have something else? There was something I was going to say, Derek Scott. Okay, for now, I think we'll stay with that. Where, oh, you know what? This is what I was going to say. I'm gonna go back to our weekend. Stop looking at me like that. Everything just happened all at the same time. First of all, you put Jermaine's picture up there. The next mayor of Pensacola that's gonna make me want to move to Pensacola. Because when he spoke, like I know Jermaine and I've heard and but when he spoke, it was like drop mic. But it was exactly what a lot of times when you're looking and hearing candidates, where they tell you exactly what they're going to do while they're running, and all in, what we give them, 3 minutes, and he was done within 3 minutes, before 3 minutes were even up. And I'm just so super excited and proud of him. And Pensacola, you have an opportunity. I don't live there, so I can say this. You have an opportunity. And it can happen, but it won't happen if you don't get out and vote. So check him out. He's amazing. That's my plug for him. And then I have to, because if I don't, my fabulous daughter will be like, "Oh, Mom, you and Derek left me out." So we want to say a special thank you, because Equal Ground ran into Jenna at the Black Caucus event a couple of weeks ago, and they stopped her. Evan and Genesis was like, "You've got to sing for us, please, 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 please." And then they came to me, and I was like, "Oh, she told you no, I already know." And they were like, "No, she said yes." And I was like, "So you have to ask her, because if I ask her, she's like, 'Mom, no.'" And so she put together a video and sang a song, because she couldn't be there. She had to work. And so I just want to give a shout out to her for being such a blessing, but always willing to help and to share her voice and her creativity. And so just a special thank you to Miss Jenna.
Well, the video was really, really nice yesterday, with the images of the children and everybody else that was on there. It was really nice. It was really touching, and the song and everything that helped propel the video into, I guess, its best stages of a video, because it was really nice. I really enjoyed it. I'm like, is it over already? Because of all of the imaging that she put into it is really, really, really good. I really like that, for to break the ice, I would say.
Well, thank you so much. I will make sure that she knows. I did have a couple of people that said, what?
Go ahead.
Okay. That said that they really enjoyed it. Derek said some people were crying in the back. Um, she was like, "Well, I didn't want to make anybody cry," but she does have a very unique gift in that when she sings, she can put pictures and feeling into it. So
Yeah, she can do some real soundtracks if she wanted to. To
We have,
movies.
we have it for everybody. If you'd like to hear it, we'll play it now.
Derek, if it meant to be no sound,
yeah.
did anybody hear me about the sound?
We can hear it.
About the sound? Is it meant to be no sound?
We can hear it, Vernon.
I can't hear it over there.
Wonderful.
Right. And Derek, before we move on, we want to thank Dr. John Thompson for making sure that we got Hearst Chapel to, each year they have been making sure that we had the opportunity to use the church and to, be there for us all the time. So we want to thank them as well.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Dorothy Thomas and Mr. John. We appreciate you.
Mhm.
All right. Next up, as we are moving through our agenda, let's talk about something that's happened this. If you live on social media or have been paying attention, we have the wife of, I'm not even going to we're just going to call things and things, right? The wife of United States senatorial candidate Alexander Vindman went on the attack unprovoked this week. And this was Friday, right? Thursday, Friday. And spoke negatively about United States senatorial candidate Angie Nixon. For clarity, which I'm sure we may all know, but if we don't know, Rachel Vindman, who is the wife of Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman, who is running for the United States Senate, is a white woman. Angie Nixon is a black woman. And so I just want to put up on the screen the unprovoked comment that she made this week. Make sure I got it. And I want you guys we're going to put it up there, pause to read. And if you can't read it, that's okay. We're going to read it for you. And what it says is, if your campaign events with less than 20 people devolve into making personal attacks on your opponent, you are a shitty human. I know you're checking my page, and yes, I am talking about you, but I won't say your name because you're not worth it. Also, buy some professional clothes for the love of everything, and that includes shoes. That's what said about Angie Nixon. Unprovoked, might I add you. Now, Angie Nixon was here most of this week. She was in Northwest Florida, and not once did she call or say anything about that man, right? Not once. But here this lady goes and wants to have all the comments about all the things about a race, about a candidate in a race that she's not involved in, because she over there on the side, right? She's not included in any of this stuff. But that's what she did this week. Now, after much backlash, which seems to have permeated across I don't even say across the state, I think it permeated across the nation because everybody's talking about it. She took the post down, but not before saying, I forget I don't have the screenshot of the post. Jamil, I'm tagging you in. What she said?
I took the post down, but that just proves my point of you still watching me.
Right. So she said that, right? Then, after everybody is like, what the hell? What you doing? And after that unsolicited, unprovoked attack, she issues this half-assed apology. I'm going to put it up here so you see. Earlier today, I posted comments that were not appropriate and done in poor taste. and I sincerely apologize. I will be more thoughtful about what I post moving forward. Right? So you might want to think, okay, well, she took a little ownership for it, except this wasn't the first time that she did this. It's not. I want to draw your attention to back in April, at the end of April, when the special session was in the House and in session, and they were fighting to go over fight the redistricting efforts that were led by Ron DeSantis in the Republican legislature, issued at the directive of the man in the White House saying to get me more seats. Angie Dixon, if you recall, Mr. McIntosh, you talked about it. We've all talked about it. The Bullhorn incident where Angie Dixon fought. And instead of commending that fight, she says this: today should be about the decimation of the Voting Rights Act, not trying to go viral by acting a fool. That was in April. So this lady got a history of saying inappropriate stuff about Black women on social media. And they expect us to vote for her husband, who is running for the United States Senate in the state of Florida. What do you say to this, Mr. McIntosh? I am curious to know your thoughts.
You know, the like you said, that half but apology, but you done already did damage to the character of someone, and that the apology is not good enough. As far as I'm concerned, you did that purposely to draw attention to yourself and your husband at the expense of Angie Nixon, who was fighting for our rights by using that bullhorn, by breaking all this crappy decorum they talks about. While at the same time they talking decorum, they are using that decorum to destroy everything that beneficial to the people of Florida and Black people in particular. So I'm with Angie Nixon and anybody else that stand up and fight and put everything on the line for the people of Florida, not just Black people, but Black people in particular. To make sure that we have a voice in this country, to make sure we have a voice in this state, to make sure that our children have access to Black leadership. So, yeah, the image of her with the bullhorn is a good image because it's saying we are tired, we're sick and tired, as Fannie Lou Hamer once said. We are sick and tired of being sick and tired. So it is time to fight. It's a war declared on us in this country, a reversing everything that we've ever fought for. And it's time for people to break with all the crap, to trying to be nicey, because it's getting us nowhere. As a matter of fact, with all this nice stuff that's supposed to niceties, we are losing everything. We've lost affirmative action. We lost diversity, equity, and inclusion. We've lost Section 4 and 5 of the Voting Rights Act, which was the pre-clearance. We lost Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. All of these things are accumulates of us being our rights are being destroyed, and they're after our birthright as well. So it's time for politicians to put aside all these niceties and start fighting fire with fire because the water is not working. What say you? Go ahead there.
Camille, you're up. What you got?
But first and foremost, the level of arrogance that a certain candidate, I mean, we all know who it is. I don't really like to address people by their name. The level of arrogance that a certain candidate for the United States Senate has is like it's astonishing. It's amazing. It's very amazing considering the time that you came to the great and wonderful metropolis that is known as Pensacola, the same time that Rep. Nixon was in the area. I mean, you only had like all the 5-6 people at your event. But I digress. That's not important. The important thing here is we have been talking about a lot of things within the last couple of weeks leading into this situation. And one of the key topics or discussions that we've been having is this bonnet/do-rag discussion that has been taking place at Tuskegee University. There are differing views on this situation. My particular view is that if we play into respectability politics, if we play into respectability politics, and if we play into the situation of forcing Eurocentric societal standards on our children and our people without having some sort of tangible way that they can uphold those standards, i.e., if you don't want to wear do-rags and bonnets to class, figure out a way to help them in trying to make sure that their attire upholds the standards that you have at the university. Because if their attire unless their attire is in a demeaning fashion that is disrupting classroom discussion and being able to learn in class, I don't see an issue with it. But the reason that I'm bringing this up is that because of the fact that this is a discussion that we're having in our circles, it gives the people that's outside of our circles the ammunition to be able to say things like what Rachel Vindman said about Angie Nixon on Friday. And there are many people that will feel like that that's not the case. But if we're able to uphold these discussions and not allow these discussions to spill out into public view, then it doesn't give other individuals the right to come in and try to dictate to us how we should uphold standards when they don't have any business telling us how to uphold standards, i.e., what going on in my house, go on in my house. And don't be trying to come in my house telling me how to run stuff in my house. The other piece to this is we don't ever have any type of discussion about how a person's attire or a person's vernacular or a person's way that they carry themselves on the campaign trail. We don't ever have these discussions until it's Black candidates. And in particular, Black women we don't ever have this. Like, Donald Trump has said the most heinous, egregious things while he has ran for president. Same with DeSantis. DeSantis started the show in 2018 when he became the Republican nominee by telling the state of Florida, don't monkey this up. And nobody batting an eye. But Rachel Vindman gets on Threads and on social media and tells a sitting, still a sitting, because we ain't had an August and a November election, and her seat is a Black access seat. So so the election for that particular seat will be up in August, but still a sitting state representative with 6 years of legislative experience telling them, get some better clothes and some shoes. While I've seen your husband numerous amounts of times in suits with sneakers. And I ain't knocking him for that. But if it's okay for your husband and it ain't okay for State Representative Nixon, then somebody help me to understand this. It's always a double standard when it comes to us. And the biggest piece to this is you can't make that statement in the skin you want. And if people come up to me tomorrow and want to have a conversation with me tomorrow, and the first thing that they say to me is that the particular statement I just said is racist, then by all means label me a racist, because it puts us in the place of female slave owners telling female enslaved how they should look when they're in front of their husbands who own us as property. And the only reason those female enslaved are telling them that is because you don't want for your husband to rape the property that he owns. That's my time. That's it. Thank y'all for coming to my TED Talk.
Jill.
Let's see if Derek Scott would like to go next.
Oh, okay. Let Derek.
No, I got a long thing, so go ahead. I got stuff to share and all that other stuff. So,
Okay. All right. So, yeah. I almost want to say I got this shirt from. I can go through my whole wardrobe like Angie did and say, look. But I'm not going to do that. I could also say, my dad would be, he's no longer with us, but he was a lieutenant colonel too. And I think I want to talk to those people who saw this and said nothing, who saw this and still are posting pictures of yourselves with him and writing content from him with your Army shirt on or whatever place you might, whatever branch you were with, and thinking that it's okay. And then having your brown face in some of y'all thinking that it's okay and that you didn't immediately snatch that picture down. You can't have it both ways. And in this case, there is no part, you can't even make this okay. You just can't make it okay. And you can't make the response from either one of them. I hold them both accountable. So I will tell you this. I'm pretty sure. I'm not absolutely sure because I wasn't a fly on the wall in their intimate settings. But because Derek showed what he showed that happened in April, these kind of conversations are happening at home. And here's why I say that. If it wasn't happening at home, think about it. This is a lieutenant colonel in the Army. I know because my dad was a lieutenant colonel in the Army. And every discussion we ever had to have was around a darn round table. Didn't matter whether you want to get your driver's license, you want to get a boyfriend, you want to go get a job. It's like a whole ordeal and you got to do it right. And that is the way it's instilled in them. So if that was the case and this was a shock to the candidate, then he would have immediately said something and forced her to take it down. And came back and said, that is not part of our campaign. We didn't know about it. We immediately take it down. I apologize and call Angie. That was the right thing that should have happened. But because it didn't happen, then what I know is when you guys have your wine, what do rich people have? Whatever that is. Whatever it is, because clearly you think that you are the elite richness. So whatever it is, while you're sitting with your husband eating your whatever it is in your very nice, expensive clothes, you had a conversation and these kind of words were coming out of y'all's mouths. And you felt so comfortable, you then shared it on your page. And your husband, who won't answer the hard questions anyway and is running from everybody, and I'm just going to say this because I'm in Okaloosa and you didn't even take a moment to stop in Okaloosa. Didn't even take a moment to stop in Okaloosa. So we weren't important.
I mean, isn't one of the largest Air Force bases in the country in Okaloosa County?
Okaloosa has the most military personnel, period. But you skipped over us. You stole a couple of us and had them drive to Scambia. But that doesn't mean that you stopped here. This is where everybody is. But you skipped Santa Rosa. You just went all the way to Pensacola, skip Santa Rosa, skip Okaloosa. And for me, and you didn't, let me just go back before I say this next statement. And I just want to remind you that we said last time that there were many candidates statewide and locally across the state of Florida that felt the desire, the need, and the understanding that Black votes matter and showed up at the Democratic Black Caucus of Florida. Not only did you not show up, because I guess y'all were too busy drinking your wine and talking about Angie, you didn't give us a dime, not a penny, but you want our vote. Oh, and now that your wife has stepped across a line and you are drowning, you want to make a phone call? You want to act like you're trying to understand how to get involved and engaged with Black people? You had a whole opportunity. You were in Orlando. Go ahead. You can say I'm good with this.
No. I have a question, because the question is going to lead even more into what it is saying.
Want me to take your question now?
So the call was made to you all when?
Yesterday.
The call was made Saturday. The first day of early voting is when? For most counties in the state, tomorrow.
Yep.
So literally 2 weeks before Election Day, you are now concerned with the continue, Ms. Jill. That's all I just.
Yes. So you made the call, and we were busy doing business like we do with people who care about us and want to share information with us. And so, no, you did not get a phone call. And yes, anybody who wants to go back and tell him personally, no, you did not, because I wouldn't disrespect my father, my grandfather, my sons, none of them that were in the military with a phone call conversation to someone who allows, because you're supposed to be at a higher level. You allowed your wife to make a comment that you guys shared in your intimate moments, because I know you did, and you didn't correct it immediately. Like, that is your responsibility, is to say, I mean, you should, like, I don't know who running your campaign, because that is like 101. Fix that quick. Get on top of that now, shut it down, take it down, make sure, give me Angie on the phone. But in your white space, you didn't think it was important enough because you were comfortable with what she said until the backlash. And even after the backlash, it took you 24, 48 hours to pick up the phone. To call because you want to sincerely apologize. Why do you need to apologize to me? I'm not Angie Nixon. If you don't like what Angie got on, I know we couldn't. Well, your wife ain't gonna like what I got on, so there's no reason for you to lie in my face. I just think, but I really want to talk to those of you who are like, but he's military, he's military, he's military. But he's military disrespecting Black people who are the backbone of not just the Democratic Party, but the state of Florida. You can't win without us. You can't.
3.9 million of us live in the state of Florida.
Yes, if we could all, if we could all come together and say, we're not voting for you now or ever, you'd be done. But more importantly, I don't want it just to be Black people, white people who sit there and say, oh, that is so horrible. That is terrible. Oh my gosh, I'm so, do something. It's not too late unless you've already voted for you to change your vote. And for those of you who said, you know what, I'm taking back my money, I applaud you. That is a bold move. And more people should do it. And unfortunately, because he didn't do, I don't care, he can't blame his wife because he didn't do what he should have done. And if he really cared, if he really thought this was terrible, if he really thought that the response, like, I just, I think about, and I'm going to stop talking, but I just think about things that, sometimes your family members or somebody said, and you're like, let me come, let me make that phone call. Like, I know that was my uncle, that we don't, he's a little crazy, just, I'm so sorry. Just want you to know, please forgive me. None of that. He continued to do what he does. And I'm shocked at the ones in this area who used to be in leadership. Some of you are still in leadership across counties close to us, and some of you in Escambia who are still standing strong that Vindman is for you, which just further proves when we say, hey, you all have racist tendencies. If you can't see, like, we paint the picture all the time on here, and I think sometimes people are like, yeah, you guys just don't get along. No, those people are still voting for him. They didn't call Angie and said, I am so sorry. They didn't even call him out. So it's one thing to say, hey, maybe for whatever reason, can't imagine, but you're going to still vote for him. But did you pick up the phone? Did you call his campaign? Did you put something on his wife's Facebook page? Did you reach out to his team and say, you got to fix this? Because that's what we did internally to our own teams that we're not talking about. Nothing. So I'm going to be quiet for a moment. I'm sorry to go on that, but I'm just so like, I wish we could put Corey's quote up here, but really enough is enough. Enough is a freak enough. And I think it's time. It's time. Like, we knew this was going to blow. He just made it blow faster. Everybody should be. This should be where you and Vernon and Bill Snow say, you know what, this is what we used to do. This is ready for a bus boycott, and the boycott going to be Vindman.
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to see if I can get it up here while I am talking. So I was like, oh, wait, where did it go? There were two parts of it that I thought were good. You said Corey's, right? That's who you're talking about, right?
But you can go through your thing the way you were going.
No, I think it's a good quote. Like, hold on.
So while you're doing that, Derek, we want to Pat White, who talked about her early vote. What you've always talked about. This is a good segue until you find that. She said, I had to go ahead and mail my absentee ballot in. I'm in Atlanta getting cancer treatment. And this is what you have been pushing for a long time, for people to do their mail-in ballot, to at least have it for a contingency plan. And she's the living proof that we need that just in case something happened. You might have to go to the doctor, the hospital, or out of town, or whatever it may be. And we hope that her treatment is successful, and that she come back here in great health. So, but yeah, this is why we, all of us, have pushed making sure you have that mail-in ballot just in case, even if um, going into the polling place in person, but be sure to have a contingency plan just in case that something happened. But go ahead, Derek. I'm sorry. I didn't want that to get away.
No, here's what I want to say. I'm sorry. Oh, hey, Christina's here. Hey, Christina. So this is the point where I'm going to try my best not to be the petty. I'm going to nod at you because every fiber of my being wants to put up various pictures of Rachel and critique, but I'm not going to do that. You know, I'm not, because I have some stuff for you. I ain't gonna do that because they ain't gonna. Are you talking about that? You can't talk about that, lady. But I can when you talk about Black women. I absolutely can. All gloves are off at this point in time. You know, I said on
Black women.
I said on a Zoom one day because somebody said that I was cursing them, and I gave them an example of me cursing someone sounds like. I was like, but I didn't say that. And in this instance, I'll absolutely want to say just that, but I'm going to hold off on them. Here's what I will say. I think Alexander Vindman is disgusting. Rachel Vindman is disgusting. And I want no parts of anything that they have to do with. In fact, I'm going to go as far as to say, should people be crazy enough to vote for this man, he wins the primary. I'm not voting for him in November. I'll skip it. I ain't doing it. Just not doing it. This is me. There is no form of acceptable racism or light racism. And let me go back to something. I want to go back to something because Jamil said something. He said, if you call me a racist, oh well. I just want for the viewing audience, because I hate when people say this. For the viewing audience, Black people can't be racist. I just want to be clear. They can't. Understand the concept of racism. It is impossible for Black people to be racist. Can they be prejudiced? Yes. Can they be bigoted? Yes. Can they be misogynist? Yes. Can they be racist? No. It just does not happen like that. It can't, because in order to be racist, you have to have power. We are Black. I don't need to say anything, but going back, it is absolutely abhorrent that she would say these things and have a history of saying these, because, going back, she's also had to walk back, not that I care, but she had to walk back nasty comments about Trump and his wife. Now, you can talk about them all you want. I don't really care. But she has this venomous thing that she does on social media where she talks about people. And I think she does so because ain't nobody got on her ass. Now, it's going to take the right one on the right day, and this is what I think somebody needs to do, for anybody who's disgusted. I'm disgusted by it. And to the point, I said something to folks in other organizations that we happen to be part of. And I said, what y'all gonna do, right? What y'all gonna do? Because this shit, excuse me. Oh, sorry, Mr. Vernon. Is that a word that I can say? I don't know. I don't know what I can say. This is unacceptable, right? Ain't gonna fly. Not happening. No way, no shape, no how. Ain't standing for it. And now that you realize talking to Alexander Vindman, the candidate running for United States Senate. Now that you realize that this shit is affecting you negatively, don't start calling Black folks across the state of Florida, oh, I'm sorry. Don't do that. I ain't got nothing for it. Yes, he called me on Saturday. And yes, we were in the middle of equal ground, so I wasn't able to take the call. But please be clear, if I were frolicking in a field of daisies and sun with nothing else to do, I wouldn't have taken that call, period, point blank. What happened, what I'm going to do. Now I have nothing for it, right? And I think, and this is just me, nobody else should have anything for it. I can't tell people how to vote, but what I will say is if you hear this story and you still rocking with him, then I got my good eye on you too. Well, I got both my good eyes on you too. That go for people I know locally. That go for people I know in other counties, in other parts of the state. If you can hear that and say, I'm okay with it, I got a problem with you too. And I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it 100%. I'm keeping it above, you know. So if you're still rocking with him, don't tell me, because I'm going to look at you forever silent, right? Even now, it's one thing if you rock with him and you don't know anything about this and we tell you about it, you're like, what? Okay, maybe so. But if you're still doing it, I got a problem. So here's what I decided to do, because folks who should be saying something weren't saying something fast enough for me. You know, I'm one of these, I need you to address it and address it immediately. I don't want you to sleep on it. I don't want you to figure out the pros and cons. I need you to do something immediately. So I took an opportunity to write an open letter to the campaign. And I want to share it with folks because I'm going to put our all call up since we're on TV and on the internet. If you hear this, it's an open letter, and we're encouraging folks in the community, whether you have an affiliation with the organization or not, just to sign on. And I'm going to read it and I'm going to share it with you because it hasn't gone yet. It's my hope to get it to them tomorrow, but it ain't going to go just to the campaign. This is going to some other places too. So I just want to read it to you so everybody has concept of what it says. And I hope that you can see it. If you can't, I will read it to you. And it says, an open letter to the Alexander Vindman campaign. To the Alexander Vindman campaign, we write as Democratic leaders, volunteers, and grassroots activists from across Florida who are deeply troubled by the tone and conduct that have recently surrounded your campaign. Florida Democrats deserve a primary focused on ideas, visions, and solutions, not personal insults, dismissiveness, and contempt towards fellow Democrats. Rachel Vindman's recent social media comments mocking an unnamed Democratic opponent's clothing and campaign fall far below the standard of respect Florida Democrats expect from anyone associated with the Democratic campaign. Personal attacks have no place in our party. Equally as troubling was the response from a staffer for Alex Vindman's campaign after the St. Johns County event to the prospect of debating State Representative Angie Nixon by saying, if Angie Nixon wants Alex to debate, she can debate his wife. That statement reflects a dismissive attitude towards a qualified Democratic candidate who has earned the right to present her vision directly to Florida voters. Candidates seeking to represent Florida in the United States Senate should engage one another directly and respectfully, whether intentional or not, although I know it's intentional. Rhetoric that belittles a Black woman candidate, dismisses her as unworthy of direct engagement, or substitutes ridicule for discussion sends the wrong message to Democratic voters. Florida Democrats deserve a primary focus on ideas and visions and solutions, not personal insults, dismissiveness, or contempt towards fellow Democrats. Our party should reject elitism and the notion that a campaign's success is measured by mocking opponents. Every candidate has the right to make their case to voters, regardless of the size of their organization or budget. Rather than attacking fellow Democrats on social media or avoiding direct engagement with opponents, we encourage the Vindman campaign to spend more time meeting voters in every corner of Florida, listening to their concerns, and explaining why Alex Vindman is the best candidate to serve the United States Senate. The primary belongs to the people of Florida, not to campaign surrogates, political insiders, or social media personalities. Let the candidates debate, answer voters' questions, and earn the trust of Floridians. And let the voter, insults or intimidation, decides who will be the Democratic nominee for the United States Senate. Florida Democrats deserve nothing less. Democratically yours, concerned Democratic leaders and volunteers across Florida. And there are a list of folks who have already started signing this letter. If you are one of those people and you would like to put your name on it, certainly reach out to me. I am happy to add your name and county. If you have a title and you want that to be included, please let me know, and I'm happy to do that for you as well. But again, I go back to say, for those of you, i.e. Planned Parenthood, who thought that it was best to pick Alexander Vindman over Angie Nixon, know, and the other organizations who picked Alexander Vindman over Alexander Vindman in this scenario, I would hope that you would walk back your endorsements of this man. If not, again, I got 1, 2 good eyes on you. And I know exactly where you stand with us, with Black and brown folks, because it is absolutely abhorrent. It's disgusting. Every other adjective that could express my contempt for this situation, and the racism and the institutions of misogyny that undergird the comments made by Rachel Vindman. I'm not at a loss for words. I'm just trying to be respectful because we're on TV. Because the stuff that I want to say, I'm not able to say. But I do want to go back to one thing, right? And I'm going to put 2 things on the screen because I want to go back. Because, again, I did say I'm petty and I'm trying to avoid it, but there are a couple of things I just want to be clear. She says, if your campaign events with less people devolve into you making personal attacks on your opponent, you are a shitty human being, shitty human. And she points out, she's trying to say that Angie Nixon's campaign events have less than 20 people. Now, I want to just share that, as I think it was you, Jamil, or somebody said, that he was just here in Pensacola the same time that Angie Nixon had an event, Alexander Vindman had an event in Pensacola. And since we're talking about events with less than 20 people, I just want y'all to take a minute to see all the folks that were at the Alexander Vindman event in Pensacola. Alexander Vindman is the man with the 2 little hat on in the center, right?
That's standing room only right there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people were at this event. The person taking the picture is a staffer, so he don't count, or she don't count, whoever, they don't count. 5 whole people in Escambia County came to your event. Wait, let me make a correction. 3 whole people, I would assume, came from Escambia County, came to your event, because them 2 people over there on your right-hand side are from Okaloosa County. So I would be careful about people events with less than 20 people, because boo-boo, that's a 4.
That looks like standing room only right there. That's right. A lot of vote.
They could even come out for a free meal at the barbecue place for your husband. So keep them comments cute. Keep them real cute. That's all I'm gonna say.
Go ahead, Jamil.
I would actually like to say something. So I looked at the names on that open letter while you had it on screen as well as on my phone, because I actually am one of the individuals that signed said open letter. And so, you know, like, I have the joy of not being able to move in spaces that I move in, to where I can say certain things and say certain names. Has Samantha Herron said anything about this?
No. You think she's gonna say anything?
Has Diane Crummell said anything about this?
Oh wait,
He endorsed him.
yeah, she endorsed him, right?
No,
Well, I've always had my good eyes on those folks because I mean they right. What I mean, you ain't saying nothing that we didn't already know, right?
I know the chair. I know the chair of the Santa Rosa County Democratic Party has said something about this. His name's on the letter. I know the chair of the Santa Rosa Democratic Black Caucus has said something about this. Her name's on the letter and she's right here. But like, you know, Samantha Herring, you said anything about this? Do you stand with integrity and understanding? Diane Crummell, have you said something about this? Do you stand with integrity and good moral character? Or do you feel just like you felt in 2024 with a certain other Black candidate that was running for State House, District 1, that this Black woman is unelectable? But I got texts. I have access to them. I have access to them. And this is the only time that I will speak on behalf of that particular person in 2000 that ran in 2024. Like we know and understand the level of inherent racism and anti-Blackness that occurs in this particular stretch of the state of Florida, and it spreads like wildfire. It spreads like wildfire, because I believe with the utmost sincerity in my heart that if Samantha Herring and Diane Crummell lived in South Florida, they would definitely be in approval of Debbie Wasserman Schultz running over in Congressional District 20, one of the last congressional districts that we have that is a Black access congressional district. That y'all can tell them that I said it. Y'all can let them know how I feel, because this is an outrage, and you had both candidates in your little area of Walton County. I don't be wanting to lessen Walton County, because I actually like Walton County. Shout out to Crespi. Listen, you had these people in your little areas of Walton County, and yet you still have said absolutely nothing about the disgusting behavior of a person that is not only the wife of said senatorial candidate, but both her and her husband be always saying that she a surrogate for this campaign. So if we take out the fact that she's the wife, she a surrogate. And this is the behavior of a campaign surrogate. But I digress. You know, I'm gonna let that ride. Go ahead, Mr. McIntosh. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we were all at Ella Jordan house the other day, and I'm positive it was full of people at the Ella Jordan house, and I'm sure it was more than 20 people. So that right there tells you everything you need to know. That it was more than 3 people there for sure, or 5, whatever Lyndon had at his place. But at the Ella Jordan house, it was packed out. And, it was a nice event, and Angie Nixon had a lot to speak on, which was policies and issues that she was addressing concerning the people of the state of Florida, and many of the issues that we have been addressing here. So I'm happy to know that you know that it's long overdue that we stand with our sisters and brothers who are always getting beat down, but especially Black women in particular. And I'm an advocate for Black women because I know what they've gone through. I know what my mother went through. I know what my sisters and all went through when we was coming up in the 60s. So it's no doubt in my mind that Angie Nixon is more than qualified to be United States Senator. She's has been a great representative, and she has stood up against the power of racism and bigotry in the House that's going on right now against us. The war on us has metastasized itself in the legislation that they are passing under this all these legislators who pretend to be people that has decorum, which they do not. And I let Christine, we haven't heard from you yet. Come on.
I don't know what I can say that others haven't already said. You heard it here. I'm very proud to sign on to Derek's letter. I'm glad he did that. And I just want to put it all out there. Vote Angie Nixon. There are so many people so mad at the Democratic Party for so many different reasons. This is one of them. This is somebody who has raised more money for this seat than anybody out there. People are giving him money. What does that say? What does that say about who we are? What does that say to our children? What does that say to the future? And just so you know, whoever goes into Senate, that's a 6-year appointment. That's not a 4-year appointment like the president. That's not a 2-year appointment. That is a 6-year appointment. And that is not somebody who I want representing me and my family. That's somebody who won't even have a conversation with us. And we're all supposed to be within the same party. That's somebody who won't speak to us. And we're all supposed to be in the same party. That's somebody whose wife says somebody is beneath them. And we're all supposed to be within the same party. We're supposed to be the big tent party. That's what we're supposed to be. There's supposed to be room for all of us within this big tent party. And this woman comes out and says she is beneath them. Beneath them. What is that saying? What is that saying to us? What is that saying when we go look at our children? What is that saying to our neighbors, to our elders? What is that saying? And then you're saying that that's the person who fundraises the highest? That's the person who you're saying is should represent all of us? Are you kidding me? Absolutely hella not. And I'll put my name and I will put every title on there. Vote Angie Nixon. They want to come for me, come for me. They know where to find me. So yes, I am saying it loud, proud, and as clearly as I can. Vote Angie Nixon. And if you're in Santa Rosa County, tomorrow early voting starts. It's going to be open from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. You can vote at the South Santa Rosa Center, Pace Community Center, Navarre Community Gym. If you live in Navarre, it's the NYSA. The Community Administrative Building, Tiger Point Community Center, and Santa Rosa Auditorium. Show up. If you haven't voted by mail yet, show up. Again, you can vote from 8:30 to 4:30. Send this dude a message. Send our party a message that this is not okay. And like I said, put my name on it. Say I said it. I don't care. Because I got to come home and I got to look at my sons. I got to look at my husband. I'm former military and my spouse is former military. You think that stands for me? Absolutely hellified not. All day long. And I call on every single Democratic club, organization. Y'all better be speaking out.
For Mr. Vernon.
Derek,
Fired up, Christina.
Derek, we definitely want our name on that open
You want
letter.
me to add yours? I can add yours right now.
Definitely so. And who we represent.
I do want to say it's funny. Since we're talking about texting me, you got the text messages about black women not being electable. I got the text messages from them same individuals talking about too many N-words in the Democratic parties, and so they left. It's funny how folks are comfortable putting their racism in black and white in electronic format that people can preserve and send to other folks. But again, I don't expect those people to come out against it because they talking about in it. That's what they in. They in it, right? But we're gonna see. To me, and I'm gonna continue to say, if you support them, don't tell me, because I'm always gonna look at you funky. I mean, and I'm just saying it now, so that everybody understands. So you're clear. I mean, this is me, Derek.
When does it become vote blue no matter who, except for when the blue is operating in the same level of white supremacy and anti-blackness that the other side is operating? When does it become that? Because here's the real kicker to it. If Vindman wins on August the 18th, I'm more than certain he won't. But if Vindman wins on August the 18th, then they're going to expect y'all on here that represents said political party to trot out and tell the good black people that this is who we need to vote for, because we can't put Ashley back. Ashley can't go back to Washington. This is who we need. This is who we need to vote for. When does it become vote blue no matter who, except for when the blue is operating in the same manner that the other side is operating?
I'm glad you said that, because I was just about to say, why is it that we complain about when Trump does it? When it's in our own party, we're supposed to either look the other way or we don't look the other way, but people that don't look like us do. Again.
Wait, hold on. Let's not talk about looking the other way, because again, folks want us to look the other way when it's matters of racism. But them folks who had issues with Kamala Harris, who just couldn't get past, they couldn't look the other way. The folks who were, I just can't do it. She's not my favorite. All the other issues. Y'all didn't look the other way for the interest of the thing, for the interest of yourself, for the interest of the nation, for the interest of the party. You ain't looked the other way and say, just get over it. I'm tired of folks telling me, well, we don't want, no. I lived 6 years with it before. I can do another 6 years. I'm good. If you put me at risk, if you don't have a problem putting me at risk, why do I have to make sure you're safe? That's just why. And so again, if if it hasn't been clear, it's funny, people are adding their names now as they speak. I'm sitting in the document, I see people adding their stuff. If it's not clear on where I personally stand, as I said on Facebook, I'm rocking with Angie because Angie's rocking with us. I stand by the percent. I make no qualms about it. You can like it. You can file a grievance. You can do whatever. I don't give up yet. I had to clean it up because I didn't want Mr. Vernon to to freak out. I don't give a fuck. That's what I would say. Who, as Sheree Whitfield said, who's gonna check me?
Go ahead, Christina.
I want to take a second and I want to call out Patty Cohen, president of the Democratic Women's Club. I asked her, it's the DWCF, Democratic Women's Club of Florida, going to say something about the racist attacks towards Angie Nixon. The response I received was, "Hi, Christina. At this moment, there is no plan to say anything. Let me get back, since I'm actually in bed and ready to call it a day. I hope you understand. I don't do my best work at this hour of the day." Well.
I do want to just put out, because Jill referenced the quote and I thought it was good. You probably can't see it because it's small. I don't know how to blow up Facebook. But it does say, for every white Democrat out there trying to discourage Black activists and Black candidates, we are taking notes and we are coming for you first, in capital letters. The Negroes have left the plantation. We went right, then hard left, but step off, we will run you over, on the way, all the way out. Test us. How about it?
It's really sad that in this time when everything is going straight, I would say that we have secondhand person as president of this country, and we have this kind of language being used by a person in the Democrat Party to address a Black woman who has been fighting for years, and our Black women have been fighting since the inception of this country to protect, ourselves and their children, to make sure that we survive in this country, and to come under attack, attack someone's lifestyle, clothing, and whatever it may be, especially a Black woman, is totally asinine in itself. And it becomes really an existential threat against Black women, because you're setting up a scenario for that person to be, to get hurt or to be abused in some kind of way, as a person that's in the same party, and we know this has happened in the past. We know that it happened to Fannie Lou Hamer. We know that it has happened to many other Black women in this country. Fannie Lou Hamer, because she wanted to get the Mississippi delegation sent, she ended up being beat in jail and then they gave her a hysterectomy while she was in the hospital. Just a whole host of things have happened to Black women, and still happening to Black women by law enforcement, by others in this country, and expect us to accept that kind of abuse. And really, no, we're not accepting that. Not anymore. It's time out, and it's been long overdue that we not allow people to address us other than great men and women that we are, So no, like that what they say, FO or FA. No.
FAFO.
Yeah,
Like FOFA. Wait a minute.
I said it backwards. I know, right?
All good. We've talked a lot about an insignificant Rachel, but I do want to take a moment to acknowledge the real Rachel, the MVP Rachel. And if y'all haven't seen that,
Let's go.
endorsing the first person you see on the thing, Angie Nixon, Elijah Manley, and Oliver Larkin. Look at that. That's what leadership looks like right there. And if y'all don't know who Miss Rachel is, that's that lady who's on the TV. If y'all have little babies, that all the babies be like, who Miss Rachel? That's all. Well, she don't sound like that, but she sounds something like that.
At all.
I definitely be calling Miss Rachel. I definitely be calling Miss Rachel the new school Mr. Rogers.
Yeah. Right.
And it's funny, I had people, Jill, does Angie know Miss Rachel? Like I would know. I don't know why they ask me things. Like I was like, I don't know if she knows it, but I mean, maybe it's because she has the kids that grew up through her. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I didn't even know Miss Rachel would endorse. Like, shut up. Let's go. Okay.
One of the first candidates that Miss Rachel did endorse was Abdul El Said out in Michigan. And that caused other people across the country to be like, hey, so if you like Abdul, you'll like this person. And then you'll like this person. And so many people from Florida started saying to Miss Rachel, hey, so if you like Abdul, you're going to love Angie. If you like Abdul, you'll love Cori Bush up in Missouri. And then the next thing that happened was the same day that the other Rachel did what she did on Threads. Miss Rachel went on IG and dropped names of people that she was endorsing in different states across the country. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Florida had the most people that was being endorsed by Miss Rachel with the three individuals that was just mentioned. And I think from what I heard, we may get two more before the end of the week. So
that's good stuff. I don't know. I'm tired. But now I'm being tired. I'm also like, oh, okay. So now you done woke me up. I'm tired of it, but you done woke me up now. Like, okay, this is what we doing for real. This is what we doing. All right, got it. Okay. You have to understand. I might have titles, but above all that, I'm black first. All I'm gonna say.
Vernon, Derek is officially in the mud.
Welcome.
I'm in the mud and trying to invite others. Let's go. Let's get into it. Let's do the things. You got me feeling like none of you guys will understand this reference, but it felt like what we used to do. We were at the University of Florida. When folks tried you politically, you get into this little like, oh, we finna in the zone, and we finna wreck shop. It's time to wreck shop. So I'm excited. I got my energy back. Okay, what we finna do? And we're gonna do something. But anyway, that's all I have on that topic. Anybody else got anything?
I think one of the things that some of the things that Nixon was addressing, Representative Nixon was addressing, such as education and Medicare and Social Security and the environmental protection agencies and all of that, that she is focused on the things that matter to the voters and to get into this, situation where someone is trying to demean her because she's dealing with the issues, and the other person is dealing in the issues that really half of the time don't matter. Maybe if that person came to us and talked about the issues, maybe we could give him some things to address rather than having his wife, allowing his wife, I would say, to try to diminish who the representative is, because there are so many things that has been dismantled in this country by this administration that's in power now. And you were right on the prejudice part, the racism part. Racism is prejudice. Racism is prejudice plus power that, can block and destroy everybody. Racism calls people to be lynched. Racism calls people to be in prison for long periods of time for something they didn't do. Racism calls death. Racism is police shooting down and executing people in the streets. That's racism. Racism is blocking people from having housing, access to finance, redlining, all of these things that has blocked us over the years, and we still climbed the mountain and got over that and got around most of it without any help from the federal government, who we have fought and died for this country. This country was built on our backs through slavery. That's racism. A country that won't stand up for the people that has protected it in every war, overseas and everywhere else. We've protected the interests of this country, and the country has never done anything to protect the interests of Black people. So, yeah.
I just want to take a minute. I hate to go back, but I just saw a comment in it. I'm going to try my best, and I'm going to walk through it. And I'm just going to say what I need to say. And I'm going to read it on Facebook, and it's from Margaret Hoster. And it says, "This is the first I've heard of the comments Vindman's wife made were so demeaning and petty. Derek's letter is very well written. However, I am pretty sure most Democrats probably don't know about this incident. So it is not wise to assume everyone did know and be upset."
Them people that I named know. I know they know.
I'm going to take it a step back, because I swear that in my comments, I was crystal clear when I said, I assume that everybody doesn't know. But if you are hearing this and still choose to support Alexander Vindman, I got one eye, two eyes on you, and I'm going to look at you funny. I just want to make sure. Did you all hear me say that? I did say that, right?
You said that, and you clarified that you said, and there might be some people who don't know, but as soon as you find out.
As soon as you find out. I said that twice, times. I didn't say I was mad at everybody for that. I said, if you have heard the story, and you still choose, that's where I got my eye. I didn't say I was mad. I didn't say I was mad at everyone. So I'm going to ask respectfully to
now
keep
that you know that
acknowledgement
you can
low.
sign the letter too, since it's so well written.
Right.
Invite everybody who thought that it was so well written, and now that you know, to join the letter, because the letter is well written in that it just exposes and calls to action.
Right. Right. So if you think the letter was well written and you thought it was petty, sign it. Send it. I was happy to send it to you. If you text me, I'm happy to send it to you. You can sign it and we can be done with it. But I was very clear on what I said. That's all I'm going to say. All right. We're at 9:00 p.m. Do you like to do your book reviews, Mr. McIntosh?
Yeah, this is by Robin Walker, When We Ruled. This is a book on that when we were in control of the world. So, and then I have my other book, and because I saw on a Jamil's shirt said for my here I am, for my people, Black Theology in the Black Church, James H. Cohen, where have we been and where are we going? So the Jamil, your shirt is timely. So it's got a lot in there. And also, this is by
The
Robert
father
D.
of Black liberation theology.
Yeah.
Father of Black liberation theology. Yes.
Right. Exactly. And I got his whole all of his books on Black theology. And then this is by Robin DiAngelo, Nice Racism. We were talking about today. So, well, that's it for me, Derek. Back to
All
you.
right. Well, we thank you for joining us. Again, if you're in Santa Rosa County, please get up in the morning and go cast your ballots. If you are in Escambia and Okaloosa, start on Saturday. If you have questions, go to the Northwest Florida Panhandle Coalition for Civic Engagement webpage, and they can direct you on how to.
Can you pin Derek all
I
three
did.
at the top?
I will. I'll
Because
make
the
sure
other
to do
day they
so.
weren't.
Okay, I'll make sure to do so. Go to the Facebook page, and then if you have questions, reach out to us. Have a great night, everybody, and we will see you back here. Travel safely the rest of the way, Jamil. We'll see you all next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Have a great night.